ABC News Special.
How can it be that America is on the verge of invading a country already burdened by catastrophe? What does it take to get killed here?
It takes very little to get killed here.
There are deep divisions in Washington about supporting the man President Clinton is ready to fight for.
He's a priest. He's essentially nonviolent.
Aristide was constitutionally elected in Haiti. So was Adolf Hitler.
For some Americans, the Haiti crisis is about too many.
Race is a major determinant of our policy towards Haiti.
We in South Florida don't want any more Haitians to come here.
But what about the thousands who want to come here for fear they'll be killed at home? Tonight, we'll make the dangerous journey with 121 refugees on one tiny boat. America and Haiti, how the weak defy the strong.
I don't think that situation is worth even one American life.
And yet, any day now, President Clinton may send 20,000 American men and women to invade this tiny nation.
Peter Jennings reporting. House on Fire, America's Haitian crisis.
Good evening, I'm Peter Jennings. Tonight, 600 miles from the U.S., there are more than a dozen American ships surrounding Haiti. They are there to enforce an economic embargo designed to force the generals who are running Haiti out of power. The ships are also there to stop the boat people fleeing Haiti from reaching the United States. And on some of them are U.S. Marines, ready to storm ashore and occupy Haiti if President Clinton gives the order. How did we reach this pass? How did the most powerful country in the world get itself involved in a high-stakes game of chicken with a country so poor it depends on food handouts to survive? It was Jean-Bertrand Aristide, the deposed Haitian president, who's waiting in Washington, who referred to his country as a house on fire. Tonight we will address whether America should send its young men and women to put that fire out.
Peter Jennings reporting. House on Fire, America's Haitian crisis. This ABC News Special brought to you by Glade Lasting Mist, the first spray air freshener that lasts for hours. Peter Jennings reporting will continue in a moment.
Finally, a spray air freshener that lasts for hours. New Glade Lasting Mist.
Glade Lasting Mist lasts a long time. Glade Lasting Mist lasts for hours.
Ordinary sprays go up and come down in minutes, but Lasting Mist has a fine mist that goes up and stays up to freshen for hours.
Glade Lasting Mist lasts for hours.
Why freshen for minutes when one touch freshens for hours?
Glade Lasting Mist lasts for hours.
New Lasting Mist, fresh from Glade, S.C. Johnson Wax.
Every year, one credit card gives you something other credit cards don't. Only the Discover card offers you a cashback bonus award. Cash. Over $400 million paid so far. And there's no annual fee. So use the Discover card and improve your cash flow. It pays to Discover, the card that pays you back.
Kids, it's back to school. You want to dress your best, you want to look real cool. Are you ready for something new? Just wait till we get our hands on you.
We got Mickey Mouse, we got the Lion King, we got the Flintstones.
You can do your thing. You can be the hippest kid in school. Just wait till we get our hands on you. Just wait till we get our hands on you.
House on Fire, America's Haitian crisis continues.
We have come to know them only as boat people. In the last 6 weeks, dozens of boats like this one have left Haiti's shores in search of dreams. More than 20,000 desperate people. But here is how some people talk about them in the land they are risking everything to reach.
Let me tell you, that cesspool, and that's Haiti, is a cesspool. I don't want anything to do with Haiti.
Rick Seidemann is a morning talk show host in Miami.
We in South Florida don't want any more Haitians to come here. Haiti is not a national interest of the United States.
In Washington, where he is in exile after being overthrown by the military in 1991, Haitian President Jean-Bertrand Aristide. And if you listen to some American politicians, they wonder out loud why a single drop of American blood should be shed in order to put you back in office. Of what value are you to the United States?
We are men. Because we are men, it's a question of human values. Secondly, how will you solve that crisis of the refugees without my return to Haiti? We want to stay in Haiti because we are proud of being Haitians, and you would like to see the refugees staying in Haiti. That's great. So let's restore democracy, and we have it, we solve it.
In an ABC News poll conducted for this broadcast, just 39% of Americans favored military action to restore democracy. But when asked if they would support military action to stop the flow of refugees, more than half of those questioned, 56%, said they would. The flood of Haitian refugees clearly has Americans concerned. Edna O'Keel and Fednel Derisma are among those who have decided to leave their homeland. We followed them on their month-long search for a boat.
My problems are not economic. I'm a driver. I can stay behind the wheel of my car and make money. My problem is that if I stay, I will be killed.
This spring, the government issued warrants for their arrest, accusing them of distributing posters of President Aristide.
When the arrest warrants were sent to our homes, we did not go to court. We want to take the boat instead, because we know that if we appear in front of them, they will arrest us, and we will die.
For Edna and Fednel, one attempt to flee ends when there aren't enough people to pay the boatmaker for a boat that will never return to Haiti. They try again. Finally, they find what they are looking for, and they book passage on the Michoud. They leave in darkness, without celebration or ceremony. They leave without any possessions. ABC News producer Mark Atkinson, who paid $200 for this trip, went along with a camera.
I had no idea that 120 people would manage to cram themselves into this very small boat. People are climbing over bodies, trying to get a space on the ledge of the boat. There's a guy who's got a knife, a long knife out, and is flailing this knife at people to try to make space for himself. And I mean, there's crazy. Edna and Fednel are not jumping to get on this boat at this point. I mean, I think even they are a little bit shocked and afraid that this is one of these voyages that's not destined to make it.
By the next morning, they have reached the Windward Passage between Haiti and Cuba. This is a 24-foot fishing boat meant for a crew of 10.
You can see the dimensions of this boat and how people had managed to burrow themselves in the hole in the stern, or bodies had managed to sort of squeeze themselves under other bodies. An enormous number of people are getting sick. They're really uncomfortable physically, and particularly those that are buried in the bottom of the boat. These guys knew what they were doing in one sense. In the other sense, in any significant sea, one good wave and the boat would have been capsized.
The boat people are risking everything to leave slums like Cité Soleil, where the economic embargo has left people without a way to survive. Even more than the steeply rising prices, however, and the shortages of fuel, is the violence. For here a war is being fought, a war between those who see President Aristide as a hope for the future and those with guns who want to keep things as they have always been. Are you afraid?
Est-ce qu'on l'appelle? Est-ce qu'on peut faire? On va aller parler?
Oui, nous fait, parce que
We're terrified, this man says. There's gunfire here all night. We hide in our houses and cannot sleep. But another man interrupts us. We can't answer these questions, he says. It is too dangerous. What does it take to get killed here?
It takes very little. It takes very little to get killed here.
Paula Hagopian and Ettore De Benedetto investigated acts of political violence for the United Nations civilian mission in Haiti, until the Haitian government expelled the mission 2 weeks ago.
Putting up a leaflet, being somebody's family member, giving refuge to somebody in hiding because the other person is being persecuted. It doesn't take very much.
We met Florence Guillaume as she wept over the body of her murdered husband. Both of them had been supporters of President Aristide. Last month, she says, armed men broke into her house and raped her and her 13-year-old daughter. Last night, she says, they came back. Who do you think killed your husband?
It was these same guys who broke into my house and raped me. These guys from FRAP.
FRAP is a paramilitary organization that was created a year ago to destroy any vestige of President Aristide's own political movement. FRAP terror intensifies when there is any suggestion that Aristide may be coming back. Even the president of the Haitian Senate, Bernard Sansaric, who is a close advisor of Army Commander Raoul Cedras, concedes that the paramilitary groups do terrorize the slums.
I talked to the general about it. Those paramilitary groups should be eliminated. Perhaps the general feels if he does it right now, he will have a split in the army, because there are some radical officers in the army who are backing up those paramilitary groups, because they fear if there is the return of Aristide, all hell is going to break loose in Haiti, and we will have civil war.
Senator Sansaric tells us that you choose the unity of the army rather than stop human rights abuses.
Neither the United Nations civilian mission nor Senator Sansaric have any proof of this accusation.
Are you saying, General Cedras, that the Haitian army which you command commits no human rights abuses?
Every time we are aware of a violation, the soldier who is guilty of that violation is punished. You know, on this earth, there is no just society.
In Haiti, every day, followers of President Aristide are abused. At the funeral of 4 who had been murdered, we met Jasmine Pierre. Jasmine and her husband had been members of a local peasant movement.
On April 16th, 4 soldiers came to our house. They raped me in front of my husband and my children, and then they took my husband away. I haven't seen him since.
Jasmine decided to apply for political asylum at the U.S. consulate in Port-au-Prince. Of the thousands of Haitians who apply here, 4 out of 5 are not even given an interview. Less than 5% are granted asylum.
Clearly, the bar to Haitian refugee admission to the United States is much higher than it has been to Soviet Jews, to Laotians, to Vietnamese, to Cubans. We have an entirely different standard.
Randall Robinson is a Washington lobbyist who says that race is the major factor in America's policy towards Haiti.
We would not have allowed a band of thugs to hijack a democracy in this hemisphere and to send fleeing into the waters thousands of people fleeing this tyranny, and to have our own ships scooping these people up like pond scum in a dragnet, throwing them back into the killing field of that country. Clearly, if this were a white country, that would not have been tolerated.
When they applied for asylum, Florence and Jasmine were not even granted interviews, even though both women told the U.S. consulate they had been raped by men working for the government. High in the hills above Port-au-Prince, the possibility that Aristide may be restored to office by American military power deeply worries many Haitians, particularly the well-to-do. We met a group of Haiti's young professionals. I want to try to understand what it is about him that either upsets you or frightens you or makes you angry.
Yeah, Mr. Aristide was preaching the righteousness of class violence, which was a major problem and which I understand many people could not tolerate.
You know, you don't need to have money to be frightened or threatened by Aristide. You just have to speak French or to be a professional and a hard worker, but you're not living in a slum, and he makes you feel bad because you're not living in a slum, and I don't think it's...
Myself as a citizen, I didn't feel security, you know, in the way he speaks and the way he acts.
We met a lot of people in Haiti who were just afraid, who were afraid that given the history of Haitian politics, that you will return to the island under whatever circumstances and seek revenge against those people who opposed you.
Well, you have some people afraid. I mean, some people afraid, but we have this huge majority dying for my return, so they are not afraid.
But until Aristide is back in Haiti, his followers are afraid. Somewhere between Haiti and Cuba, Edner and Fednel aboard the Michoud are praying for a rendezvous with the U.S. Coast Guard. But what they do not know as they anxiously scan the horizon for a Coast Guard cutter is that President Clinton has changed his refugee policy. Now, when they are picked up, they will be sent to safe havens, but they will not make it to America.
I mean, who ever heard of America saying, if you politically persecuted, we will interdict you, stop you on the high seas, interrogate you, and then send you to a foreign country? Hey, you know, why bother? Hey.
Charles Rangel is a powerful member of the Congressional Black Caucus. In May, the caucus was influential in getting President Clinton to reverse his policy of automatically sending boat people back to Haiti. But Rangel and others are angry now about the president's latest directive, which says that Haitians can only get asylum if they apply to the consulate in Haiti.
It's better than nothing. I mean, it's better than saying, we believe that some of you are political refugees, but most of you are economic refugees. Well, we really don't have the time to find out, so what we're saying is all of you stay in Haiti, okay? And for God's sake, stay off of television.
But the images of these boat people are very powerful, and they now serve as a vivid symbol for all those who would hope to influence President Clinton's Haiti policy. Late afternoon in the Windward Passage, 14 hours after leaving Haiti, the U.S. Coast Guard cutter, called the Escape, appears on the horizon.
They use the term Hamilton, Hamilton, Hamilton. Hamilton is the name of the first Coast Guard vessel ever to intercept a Haitian sailboat. They don't even know the word Coast Guard, actually, but the conversation is all about when Hamilton is going to show up.
Within an hour, Edner, Fednel, and 300 other boat people are being taken on board the Escape. They still believe they are going to the United States. They are wrong. They will be taken instead to Guantanamo Bay in Cuba and held there, along with almost 20,000 other Haitian refugees in limbo.
People have gone in bare feet, one outfit, and they've brought maybe a change of a shirt with them. This is not like the wave of immigrants, you know, at the turn of the century from Europe, who brought trunks with all their belongings, you know, knowing that they're going to make a new life. I mean, these people are escaping. They're taking two things and something that proves who they are, and they're running away from their country.
Edner and Fednel are still waiting at a refugee camp in Guantanamo Bay. They face a difficult choice: whether to trust the Clinton administration's promise to send them to a safe haven, a refugee camp somewhere else in the Caribbean, or to return to the country they fled. How did Haiti become a house on fire? That story in a moment.
They came from Alaska and North Dakota, California, and even farther west. This summer, we invited everyone who owns a Saturn to visit us in Tennessee, the place their car was born. We called it the Saturn Homecoming. People could see where their cars had been built and spend some time with the men and women who built them. They could see where the idea for a new kind of car company had taken shape, and we could thank them for believing we could do it. 44,000 people gave up their usual summer vacations to spend them with us at a car plant. Pretty good turnout for our first big party. Of course, not everything went exactly the way we planned, but we were all in it together, the way we always have been.
Now Tide comes in a refill bag. Just pour it in your empty Tide box. It's 80% less trash and less money, too. The new Tide refill bag. If it's got to be clean, it's got to be Tide.
Since it was time for a new pair of glasses, I brought the wife down to Pearl Vision's buy one, get one free sale. Told her with that free extra pair might change my image a bit. So, what do you think?
Ooh.
I guess she likes them.
You want me to do something healthy for a whole week?
Yeah, have breakfast with grape nuts. Just one little box.
I just don't know. Doing something healthy is not easy. I was very surprised. Yeah, it was easy. On the box, it tells me it's natural. Looks like it's going to be healthy, and you're surprised when it tastes good. With my 2-year-old son, a lot of times I have to leave my bowl with grape nuts. I'd come back, and it's still crunchy. Have you had a 2-year-old?
Grape nuts. See what one little box can do for you.
I'm eating breakfast, healthy, and it's easy.
Starting Monday, Coach and the whole gang move to their new night with back-to-back episodes. Oh, yes! The show that's nominated for 4 Emmys has found a new home.
It is a rather joyous work.
Now see why for yourself. It's an hour of Coach on its new night, Monday on ABC.
Primetime scoops an international controversy. This man admits to killing his wife in the U.S.,
The way she was acting, I think she was ready to kill me.
then fleeing with their kids to the Middle East. Will he be returned? What about the children? Primetime's exclusive jail cell interview.
Why did you kill your wife?
Thursday. Peter Jennings reporting. House on fire. America's Haitian crisis continues.
Revolution, assassination, coup d'etat. Nearly 2 centuries of violent change. President Clinton speaks of restoring democracy to Haiti, but democracy never had a foothold here. Ruler has given way to ruler, dictator to dictator, tyrant to tyrant. Violence has been the engine of succession. And beneath the turmoil, stagnation. A society that since the time of the French rulers had been brutally divided between rich and poor, city and country, Catholic and voodoo. A land still divided between the Europe of the slave owners and the Africa of the slaves. This is the National Palace in Port-au-Prince. Haitians have fought to rule from here for 190 years now. Since 1804, when the slaves rebelled and created the world's first independent black republic, more than 40 different Haitians have managed to run this land for a while. Once they reached the palace, one of the first things they did was to crush their rivals who rarely respected their authority and who understood that if they wanted to live in the palace, they in turn would have to seize it as well. And so most of the occupants who lived here, to put it mildly, left against their will. The revolutionary leader Dessalines, Haiti's George Washington, was ambushed and bayoneted by his own officers. Then came King Henri Christophe, who, facing a rebellion, shot himself, so the legend says, with a silver bullet. King Henri left as his legacy enormous fortresses which he built to guard against the return of the French, who had moved quickly to isolate their former colony. Most countries refused to recognize Haiti, including the United States.
As soon as the Haitian Revolution occurred, slaveholders in the American South panicked. If slaves could rise up and kill their masters and succeed, they could obviously do the same elsewhere in the United States.
In their isolated land, the former slaves tried to build a new society, but the first 100 years of Haiti's independence were dominated by a constant struggle for power. Only one president left the palace voluntarily. And then, in July 1915, the United States intervened. Washington said he wanted to restore stability. Haiti's 8th president in 7 years had just been torn to pieces by a mob. But Washington also wanted to make sure the Haitians continued payments to a New York bank and to prevent the Germans, then fighting World War I, from gaining a foothold in the Caribbean. For Haitians, the U.S. invasion was a catastrophe, the return of white rulers. Among Haiti's military leaders today, the bitterness is still obvious.
Do you know your country has occupied mine for 19 years? What have you left behind? You have tried to change our culture. You have massacred our peasants. And when the American people started to learn about these things, you had to quickly abandon my country.
You can still see in General Cedras what the Americans left in Haiti, an army that believed it should be in charge, and a fiercely nationalist people. And then came François Duvalier. The peasants called him Papa Doc. He was a country doctor turned politician who was determined never to be overthrown. Duvalier ruled through terror. It was called the Nightmare Republic by many. He created the Tonton Macoute, a militia loyal only to him. And in the time he ruled, tens of thousands of Haitians were killed and hundreds of thousands fled the country.
It has been written that your people are afraid of you. Do you believe they are?
The people, the Haitian people, is closely with the leader Duvalier.
They believe in you.
They believe in me, only in me.
By the mid-1960s, the height of the Cold War, one aspect to Duvalier's philosophy had convinced Washington to leave him alone. He was no communist. By the time François Duvalier died in 1971, his power was such that he could bequeath to his Haitians, like a parting insult, a new dictator, a dull-eyed, obese teenager. Papa Doc's son, Jean-Claude, was 19 when he took over Haiti as its president for life.